I said, this is it. I have to be here. So that's like my personal mission, and the fact that, you know, I have diabetes. I've had it since I was 6 years old, so I know why you need a community and why you need expert support, and just to make sure that you have access to the latest medical treatments and innovations.
Right. And so what was the name of the project that you mentioned? You said it was iMedis?
Yeah, iMedis. We just say it iMedis because it's cool.
iMedis. It's MEDIS.com?
AIMEDIS.com, yeah.
.com. Okay, cool. So
and you know why we do the iMedis part?
They can check out what you're involved in. What's that?
We do the iMedis part because I like to call the token that we have as the I'm token. And it's like, I'm a believer. Are you? You know, it's like teasing people in conferences or when I'm pitching the project. Cool. It's like, I'm here to stay, or all these, and I just call it iMedis. It makes sense.
That's funny. So before we started the show, you were telling us, unfortunately, about some of the more, let's say, inappropriate things that you've seen as a woman working in the world of crypto blockchain technology. And one of them was an event and a conference you went to. Do you want to talk briefly about some of the weird madness that you've encountered that we would all like to find ways of stopping?
So there was one event that I attended, and that was messed up. And I'm gonna say names. So I'm sorry, organizers, but this is it. And then I'm just gonna point out a situation that happened earlier last week. So the first event that I went to was in that had an issue, a real issue with these Russian models. Was in Singapore in June, and it was called the Cryptocurrency Expo in Singapore. We were initially in Seoul with the Cryptocurrency Expo, so we knew the organizers at the time, and the Seoul event was exquisite, no problem. Now the problem is that the event that happened in Singapore was in collaboration with a group called 3 a.m. It's a WeChat group called 3 a.m. Everybody knows it, Chinese and so on. So what 3 a.m. did is they kind of bought the event because they booked a massive conference hall. They placed everyone assigned with Cryptocurrency Expo in a really small room. And most of the stuff that was happening in the big room. So there were like 1,000 people, mostly Chinese, with the booth exhibitions that were all in Chinese, nothing in English. And of course, we saw these lovely women, really underdressed, like almost in swimsuits, walking around in like really high heels, in a air conditioning like 19 degrees Celsius, which is, you know, and having these love booths like just a heart made of heart balloons, and guys taking pictures with them and them posing like there were models on the stage. And this is not something that you want to see at a business conference.
No.
And at the same time, we were seeing people pitching their projects in Chinese, and then through a back door, taking all the interested investors and then giving them a deep dive into the project and then signing them. So it was quite, you know, up until that point, I actually thought there were maybe some ethics in the whole crypto scene. And then I realized, no way. Like, these are really on target. These are masterminds behind all this, because it's so on point. And then, you know, they tried to organize another conference in Jeju Island. So they would always fake speakers and say that they would get Vitalik, for example. Vitalik was never invited to that stuff. And just, you know, really despicable. Like, it made me vomit, really.
God, that's
really
awful.
Despicable. Yeah. And then the funny thing, like last week, Andreas Antonopoulos posted a screenshot from one of the attendees to another conference called Blockchain Week Hong Kong. And it was from a modeling agency from Russia, pointing out to the male participant that they want to bring more women into the conference spaces because it lacks women, and they could hire an escort for that.
Oh,
So,
geez.
yeah. And
That's
I
taking
went
it down
on.
a notch when it comes to crypto. I mean, that's really like dumbing it down, shall I say?
Yeah, I'm really disappointed because I know some of the people organizing Blockchain Week,
God.
and I went on LinkedIn and I faced them with this, and they said they will look into it, and it's been a week. I didn't get any kind of reply, any kind of message, not even in private. I didn't see anything on social media saying, "Hey guys, we had an issue, someone accessed our database or someone is doing this." All I got was, someone's trying to sabotage the event. When Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, nobody's trying to sabotage your event. You're just doing a really lousy job in the management of your own event. And
That's so
if it
degrading.
comes to this,
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear this happen. I mean, this is
yeah,
really awful.
And like they're trying to tell me that I'm doing FOMO. I'm like, are you fucking serious? I'm doing FOMO. I've been in this space for so long, and I've been super. I'm clean as a baby after bath. Like if there's something to tell me, just tell me that I'm stupid because I really believe in people. But I'm not stupid enough to not see that there's a problem. And it's 2019 and there's still a problem. And this problem has been addressed so many times, even with Breaker Mag and, Breaker Magazine saying about that crypto boat trip that they had. And these things have been addressed nonstop. And then you're telling me that me and Andreas, we're spreading FUD and we're just, because really I have something against them. I'm like, do your thing there. I even promoted your event. The fact that I recommended your event to my partners and my associates, and now I see this happening, you don't even have the decency to come back and tell me, hey, you know what, we fixed this. Or just see one single, we apologize.
Yeah, that would have been more helpful if they
how hard it is to be accountable. Like I've picked on Cointelligence when it was the Breaker Mag article that media is being like, you had media publications that were publishing fake information about crypto investment, and people were losing money. And I picked on Cointelligence and on Yavin so much because his response at the time was like, "Oh, we don't do that," or maybe our terms and TOS, terms of service, is not that clear. But then he stood up and he said, this is what we do. We will label every single article that was sponsored in any kind of way, and we will just put it out there, the connection we had with all these projects. And he was super accountable, and for that I'm gonna respect him until the day I die.
Sure. Right.
But then you had Cointelligence, they really cleaned their image. Then you had Cointelegraph, the Bitcoinists and all these, they did nothing. They just ignored it. And you can't afford, in a space that is still in the beginning, to put fake information out there.
No, we have enough scammers and fake information.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't need more scam and fake crap on top of it. So now we can call out the crap, Yuri, because this is calling out the crap in crypto when we have things like this going on, which just, it's bad enough as it is. We're all trying to make this an industry that succeeds. And then you have things like this, which are just taking it to a level that's unnecessary and degrading. And I'm really sorry that that's happened to you, Roxana, because it's not cool.
But in the same time, I've seen really powerful initiatives. Like we have I think I added your wife to the blockchain sisterhood group.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
We're like 64 women from all over the world supporting each other and really helping each other and sharing information freely. Like if I'm invited to a conference as a keynote speaker and I can't attend, I'll recommend someone from there in my place. Mm-hmm. Then I went to Thailand and I participated in a Women Will event. And Laura from them, that's how I met her. Laura from them did a presentation there, Laura Takenaka. And I was so impressed because there were like 30 women in the room and they all wanted to understand blockchain. One was a farmer and she wanted to understand how blockchain could help her with the farming logistics and getting customers and proving to them that she's using really good stuff and seeds and procedures, they're according to the law. And so many amazing initiatives by women and for women in the space, but they're not promoted enough because all these big guys, all these big guys that have the audience, they just they are not accountable for the stuff that they put there. They're not they're not taking responsibility. Oh, a breach happened. It's same with data breaches. Oh, a breach happened. We're sorry. Your data has been exposed to like a freaking million hackers. We're sorry. Like shit happens, but it's okay. It happens, And then I'm supposed to be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna take a stance. I'm not gonna let it pass.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I agree with you.
Yeah. So in that space, then, what are some of your favorite events that do follow very good business practices? Like if you were like, this is the best event that I've ever been to because they're above and beyond, is there one you can point to or just a number of them that you can point to?
So, yeah, there are some good events. Like all the events I've attended in London, organized by Novum Insights, they were amazing. We had women as participants, we had women as speakers, mixed with a male audience. I was never looked upon that I'm a woman and I'm asking a question, and people had the patience to answer the questions, which is great. Then there were, like, I really like the community-centered or really conferences that are focused on education. I'm really sad that I cannot attend Radical Exchange, for example. That's one conference that I want to go to, maybe hopefully next year, because it targets, topics that are relevant.
Sure.
Markets that can be tapped into and paths that we can, a path that we can choose, which is different from the current one, and not just crypto. I'm talking all that is emerging technology, all that is dealing with data, with security, with the online persona of the potential customer, artificial intelligence. It's like you know how blockchain was in 2017, like everybody was doing it. Was doing an ICO. That's how AI is in 2019. Everybody's launching a business that has something to do with AI.
Yeah.
But ideally, I want to look at, the type of conference that I like, and this was the last one that I attended, Vox Days in Greece. Like, it was incredible just because we were so many people, technical audience from IT mostly. So I could talk about blockchain and programming languages used in different types of blockchain in different companies. I could talk about artificial intelligence and building a startup, and the steps that you have to take. And they had JavaScript and they had, like, everything was technical. Right. And it's so refreshing to be among developers, because developers are so innocent, I swear. They're like the best people to hang out. I love hanging out with developers. Sometimes they're geeky, but if they're not geeky, we're going to talk about chess, we're going to play pool, we're just going to look at the world and think in mathematical terms.
So how techy are you, by the way?
No, I am. I studied psychology, but the only thing that I liked was the data analysis part, the statistics. Yeah. So I have a degree in advanced
number crunching is the fun parts, all the mathematical stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I've been fascinated with math. I've been playing chess since I was 6. Mm-hmm. So I have a kind of I tested my brain, and it's about 48% analytical and 52% creative.
Oh, interesting.
So that's kind of the ratio.
How do you test your brain?
There are some tests that you can do.
Really?
Yeah.
We had a test
and also
brain,
I know it'd be cool to do that. We'll have to test
mine too.
And also do a bit of introspection. Look at how your problem solving. How creative is it? Are you looking for the easiest solution, or do you like tangled up things and like taking from the environment and adding it? That's one example.
Right.
That you might be a creative problem solver. If you like reading, if you have a tendency towards creating all types of content, video included, then you have like a tendency towards creativity. If you like spending time in front of a computer and coding, clearly you have a tendency towards analytical.
Right.
So there are ways to find out. But like I built an IQ test for the Romanian population with with a group of scientists many years ago. So I had all